Welcome, I'm Patrick Hamilton for the WithYouWithMe Academy for the Cybersecurity Analyst course for Wazah. In this session I will go over of how to install the server and the client, so make sure that they are both talking and working so you can complete the exercise. Okay, first we'll bring up VirtualBox. Go ahead and do that now, and you should see something as on the screen here. Okay, next will be to bring up the virtual adapter. Do so by clicking on File, then Host Network Adapter. You'll then see the Host Network Manager as seen here. And we're going to change it to the IP address configuration of a 192.168.1 setup. And this is how it will be performed. Now originally when you look at it, it'll have a different set of an IP address. This is just so we can keep things streamlined. So click on the DHC Server tab here. Now if you do not see a VirtualBox adapter here, then what would need to be done is to create one, which you should see the create icon. By clicking on that, a new one will appear with the automatic settings of an IP address. Then click on Properties, the DHCP tab Server, and then change the IP settings to as follows here. Change it to what is shown here, 192.168.1.10, the server masking to 255.255.255.0, with the lower and the upper bound set as .20 and .254 for the range, again in a 192.168.1 scheme. The adapter settings are likely not changed. Mine here are showing that it has changed because I've had done prior, but yours will not, and that is okay. The settings will take effect. So once again, go ahead and review, and when done, click on Apply, then Close. If you might have problems with this, one thing to take a look is at the version being used. For this exercise using VirtualBox version 6.0, you can find this by going to the Help and to the About settings. If you don't have anything of this, it's recommended to update and then continue onwards. Some of the older versions, such as version 5, should be sufficient enough to get you through this. Anything older is likely to be needed to be brought back to speed. And with that, let us begin. Let's check the settings of the virtual machines that are in use. And by doing that, you select, say we'll go with the server first, click on it, and then go to the settings, which you can do with a right click, and then click on settings. So what we'll do is click on the network on the left hand side, and with the adapters, go adapter 2, and then ensure that we're at host only adapter. And then ensure enabled network adapters check and click OK. Now we'll do the client, same thing, right click, select settings. Now we're going to make an adjustment to the display, which is on the left hand side. Increase the video memory up to maximum at 128 megs and enable the 3D acceleration box. Next, once again, we'll change the adapter, go adapter 2. Host only adapters be used. All these other settings here under the advanced section can be left as default. I don't need to change them, and then click OK. But for me, since I've already made the changes, I'm going to click on cancel. And next, we will go ahead and turn on the server. So select your server, click on start, and let that start up. While we're also on it, we're going to go ahead and start up the client too. The reason for this is you may need some updates, so we'll let the client do some updates while we're working on the server. So go ahead and select the client, and having a bit of problem, so I'm going to swing over the server so now everyone can see it. Here it is. Now back to the client, select the client and start that off. Now go ahead and minimize this, and then I will bring over the client. Well, I'm going to bring up the documentation to go over for the server. So on the server install document, I'm going to scroll down to page number 6. And this step should have already been done in the beginning, which was to perform the update. And here we go. So here's the client. I'm going to have it underneath the server. And then I'm going to go ahead and log in onto the server. Login is root is for the ID. The password is Wazah, all lowercase. And a good thing to do is to check for the IP address, which is IP space ADDR or ADDR. And then going to look for what the IP address is here. As this right here, 192.168.1.20. And this is what you should have. You may have something else other than .20. Again, for the server, this should have already been done, which is sudo space yum.update, but I'm going to go ahead and do it again here. See me self-typing it in, sudo space yum space update. And while that's going, oh, that was quite quick. See, I've already had done, so it's quite quick. For those of you that have the current update, this might have been quick. And then next, going to log into the client. It should be ready for you. If not, give it a bit of time. Otherwise, you can go ahead and log in. And while logging in there, I'm going to go jump back to the server. Now we're going to execute this command here. I will be putting it into the chat. And this is to help with the repository for the update in Wazah. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and type it in now. SED space dash I space, and then we'll type what's right here. Also, make sure don't do any typos. And so take a look over, make sure it's all set, and if so, then go ahead and execute it. And that's it. You won't get any other response from it. Okay, next going to execute the next command, which is to upgrade the Wazah manager. Also going to be copying this and putting it into chat. So again, sudo space yum space Wazah, upgrade space Wazah dash manager. If you have the recent, I copy this and paste it into chat for everyone. Now, since I have the latest version, and if you have the latest version, you will get no further updates. If you happen to have an old version, you may perform an update now after executing that command. Okay, now we're going to work on the update with the cron job. And that's this whole section right here. And what a cron tab is, it is a way to schedule tasks for a machine, much like Task Scheduler in Windows. And this update will do it once a week. But we'll go ahead and go over it because it can be a bit tricky. So I'm going to show it here because of the editor with Linux through the command line. So with that, over here on the server, I'm going to type it out. So going back out with the cd dash dash, the cd is for change directory, and this brings us one out. Next we go to the var directory, then the ossec or ossec, and then bin. Then we'll execute the command, which is going to be this right here. And I will put it into chat. Type it out here, sudo space dot slash update underscore rule set, and then parameters dash r dash f. And this will update the rule set. Alright, so I'm going to just strain up the client and I'm going to run a terminal format while we're waiting for the rule update to complete. And so in the client, to open up a terminal, on the lower left hand side there's these 9 dots. By clicking on that, we'll bring up this screen here, and then go to where it says type to search and start typing out terminal. At which time the icon will show up as here. Click on it. And then that will bring up the terminal within Ubuntu. Okay, so we're going to go back to the server and we're going to now execute the cron tab, but we have to make an edit to it. So it's this command. Oh yeah, I need to copy that, put that in chat. Alright, now for the cron. So it's sudo space cron tab and then space dash e. That'll bring up the editor right here. So you should see a blank screen with a bunch of little blue tilde signs on the left side. And now we're going to execute this command right here to put into the file. And it's to update the rule sets every week. Now I need to go into an insert mode, which can be done one of two ways. Hit the insert key until you see insert at the bottom left corner. Or you can hit the I key. And that will also toggle in the insert. And now we'll start typing it out by the @weekly. As here it is in the document on page 6 there. And then you will need to escape in order to save it to get out of the insert mode. I'm going to also copy this and put it into the chat. Okay, back to the server. Alright. And then to save it, it's going to be a :WQ. And that is for to write and to quit. So you should see here lower left a :WQ. And if you see that, press enter. And there you go. It's been saved and it's ready to go. Alright, now we're going to go down further, and the next step is to do a restart of the server, which is shutdown -R now. going to type it in now. Sudo space shutdown -R for restart and do it now. Press enter. Okay, while that's going, that should be completion for the server. We will then bring up a web browser. It's going to go and do here, and then essentially you will type in the IP address. But it's going to take a few minutes for the server to load up and to be ready. And you may get this unable to connect because the server is not yet ready. And also it helps to verify what the IP address. Now I remember it, I believe it was 20, but I'm going to verify, so I'm going to log in. And then to find the IP address, it's IP space adder, and then we'll look it up. And that is the case. It is 20, so I need to type it here. And let's see if it is ready. Doesn't look like it, so I've got to give it a bit more time here. Alright, go ahead and do another refresh. And there it is. Now you may get this, which is okay, because this first time has not connected. Click on Advanced, add the exception, and confirm the exception. And you should get this. If you don't yet have it, give it some more time. And is anyone here not getting this indicator right now? Okay, if you're getting timeout, that's fine. Gotta give it probably a couple more minutes. Otherwise, you should see a screen like this. Sometimes if you're not getting it, what we can do is do a ping. So to do that, you go to your right click on the Windows icon, go to search, and then type in CMD Charlie Mike David, and it'll bring up this command prompt. And what you can then do is ping from your machine to the server to see if there's connectivity. So in this case it would be 192.168.120. And if you have replies, that means there's a direct connect. If you're receiving something other than that, such as a timeout or destination not reach, is likely to be something blocking in between, such as with the third-party firewall system or endpoint protection system may be blocking it and may have to provide an exception for it. Or it's something also with VirtualBox, the virtual adapter. Okay, so I'm going to bring up VirtualBox here. And this might be something that needs to be gone through in case you cannot connect to the browser. So again, go to Host Network Manager. You have to make sure though to shut down all the machines though before making any changes. So you can go to the Host Network Manager once before. And you can then change from the 192.168.121 network. You might be able to trick it by changing the 1, the third octet, from a 1 to a 0, and change that for the server address, as well as the address bounds for the lower and the upper, like this. And then apply and close. But again, make sure all your machines are closed before you do this. And then see if it works. And if not, you can change it back. Or another method is that you can just completely remove this by clicking on the remove button and then create a new one and just leave it with the automatic settings. And then when you power up your server, use the IP address that you find on the server and then put it onto your browser. Okay, we're going to be taking a break now. For the next few minutes, we'll come back. I have a new link posting it in chat, and I will see you there. If you're having any difficulties or like questions, you can come in definitely early, and I will go through them with you. Thank you for your participation. We will continue after this break, and see you there. All right, bye.